This is why I said, at this point, if you keep nerfing heroes over and over again, it just feels like these heroes are going to be unfun to play. So you're better off just nerfing the living shit out of everything else, and that way, it won't feel as strong because everything else feels just stronger. Which is how patches used to be made in Dota. If you remember correctly, like you'd have nerfing patches, but then you'd have these massive buffing patches where everyone gets buffed and nobody knows what's good anymore. And that was the fun of it, that heroes like Mars, okay, they're good, but they're not as good as, you know, Morphling, who can just never die with, you know, permanent strength morph and morph into everybody else and have these crazy combinations with Earthshaker and SP. You get my point, John. Still, the draft is continuing.
I'd love to see it.
Probably should continue with the draft, John. Snapfire Medusa now here for OB.Neon. Team Orca.
Yeah.
How do you want to deal with the Medusa, right? We've been seeing this Medusa come out over and over again. Most teams have really had the greatest ways of dealing with this hero throughout the games we have seen. You don't have those popular picks like, say, PL, who just naturally can drain all the mana away very fast. What else do you have? Like, you've got TB, you've got, like, Drow.
Those are VT Fated specials, those two heroes. So I wouldn't mind it for Team Orca. You've got the Shadow Demon to kind of sustain a Luna Illusion spam game. Instead, they go Razor. So I love this response. Breaking the mold here on Team Orca. They just want to be aggressive. Really good static link targets in Kunkka and Dusa. And as we've seen Gabby kind of do with his Razor, you just go for a blink after the BKB refresh. Gap closing is not going to be an issue. So you can just be on top of the Dusa, take away all her damage. It's not going to feel good playing that Dusa. Razor's item spikes are a lot faster as well. So it's a great way of just getting that momentum going for Orca, and I think they're going to look to play a lot faster than we saw them in the last time. They didn't get a draw in the last years they played. I think they played game one a lot slower than we expect from Orca, not looking that way for this kind of lineup. For Neon, I mean, they have a really good team fight here. They've got X, Torrent Boat, they've got Grip, they've got the Kisses with the Cookie Stun, and they've got the Dusa to kind of zone out the side of Orca as well when the Stone Gaze is up. So I think they can actually force some early fights. They're just going to need a strong offlaner now for Enryu. Not many big options left. Tide was taken off the table. Mars was picked up by Orca. You could make an argument for something like... I feel weird saying this, but you have an argument for Centaur. Gives you a nice Stampede to run away from Static Link for the Dusa. That could be one way of getting out of dodge. There's still... Disruption up, which can cause issues. And the lane matchup for Centaur versus Razor is not good. But you do have Centaur Snapfire, which is, again, the one time we saw Centaur come out with was the double stun. It could be an option, but it's a risky option for Neon, as that Centaur didn't do too well after the laning phase, Mike.
No, certainly didn't, John. It was quite shocking. Level 14, he had 6 armor. And I think only 4 of that was base armor, which was just sad. That was really sad.
1 agi gain per level, Mike. That's what you get. He was really dragged down. They go with a Beastmaster instead, so this does give them steady control out on Neon with a Roar. On top of Grip, so really good single target control coming out. Really good push coming out with a Beastmaster as well. Lane matchup for him up against Razor is still a bit dicey. Razor has good wave clear. It's a melee hero up against a Razor. So static link plays are there, but the Boar Slow will be annoying for the Razor to deal with. And he's going to have to expend extra mana to clear out the boards with a Plasma Field. So, like that response out from Neon. This does give them 4 really strong heroes to play around with, to buy space for that Dusa to farm. For Orca now, it does feel like we lack our citrus mid. I think now that they see everything, it should be fairly plain obvious that it is Avatar mode's mid Kunkka. Now, mind you, Avatar mode's Kunkka was really damn good.
Yeah.
It's outstandingly good in the games we saw. That was with the ganks coming in from a Mirana, though. This time around, Snapfire can rotate in and help you set up. It's not the same range. It's not the same disable as an arrow.
Ooh.
And Orca go into the PL. So a mid Razor for Citrus instead up against Kunkka. That just directly counters the hero. Really strong lane for the Razor to have. And there's your Diffusal carrier for the Deuce as well, Mike. So the PL, once you get some farm going, Diffusal, Manta style, you can handle Asta quite nicely. And again, there's still a big question mark on Neon. We've seen Avatar mode, we've seen Jing, they've proven themselves. Asta, not quite. He was missing for that game yesterday. We've got to see what he can do on his Boss 1.
Yeah, no, this is going to be an interesting game, right? Because, I mean, we pointed out the PL versus Medusa matchup, but I think it goes either way in the current meta because PL isn't very good, and Medusa is very good, so... Especially if you go down the Aghanims route for Medusa, you just petrify all the illusions. It gets a bit messy for the PL, and I think BT Fated's going to have to... He's going to have to have a very good laning stage and really transition quickly into that Diffusal Blade to be able to really make use of it against this Medusa. So once you get past that 25-30 minute mark, assuming Asta's been able to farm up decently in the triangle, it might just be too late by that point. We'll have to wait and see though. Not going to be an easy game for either side, and it could still just go either way. But John, I'm going to ask you the hard question for the first time tonight. Who did come out with the better draft?
I would stick my guns with Orca. I think they get the great counter pick in the PL. You mentioned it can be challenging for a PL up against Dusa. I think with your doppelganger in the late game, it's actually not that tough. You can just jump in, dodge the Mystic Snake, rip her to shreds, and you still have Razor on top of that anyway. So even if your PL can't gap close and do anything, Razor can still jump in, static link, and take the damage away, neutralizing that Dusa threat. So I think Orca has covered all their bases. Neon, they've got this timing to play with, but we've got to see how much Asta can get out from a safe lane. Because the last time we saw Neon, they were playing with Chuan, and Chuan was playing much more of a tempo setter on his pause one than a true carry. It was Avatar mode who was the big win condition. And I'm keen to see if they shift that over now to Asta with their actual carry in.
Yeah. Very interesting to see how Asta does do here on this Dusa. So Avatar mode, again, you kind of brought up his previous performance, but again, that was with the Mirana. See if he can kind of replicate that kind of performance without a support like Mirana being able to just get a guaranteed arrow in that mid lane every time. Citrus, a very good mid laner as well, and I mean, he is getting directly countered here by this Razor, so I'm very intrigued to see what Avatar mode does do about this. As Orca, they have 5-man smoked up. They do have some very strong level 1 timing, so they could certainly try and force a fight right now if they want, and it seems like they just may. Wrapping around that dire triangle, wards will be double wards being placed around this area. Now a sentry ward, so they'll go for the immediate deny. Double wards though. That's an interesting interesting commitment.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times today, Mike. We saw Motivate Trust drop 2 wards in the high ground as well. They'll deny 1. This might be a bait play, you know, deny your obs.
I think it was
drop the sentry, your other obs is outside. Maybe it was, but I want to say it's a big brain play because that second obs is out of sentry range. So, you know, big brain play. Save themselves. They'll get dewarded once. The mid will feel safe, but they're not safe yet, Mike.
Fair enough, John. We'll see if it pays off for them. I appreciate your optimism. So, Orca.
The battle begins.
Not gonna find anyone. Asta gonna show up. Yep, gonna get a nice arrow off on this Dusa, and keep in mind there is no mana shield yet. Asta, where have you ended up, sir? This is your debut, and he's going right down the top lane. Asta's gonna be first blood here. That is not the way you wanted to show up here for game number 1.
It was ours all along.
Oh well, you know, sometimes things go wrong at the start, but you know, it's all about how you finish.
Yeah. No, we'll see. I mean, that's a pretty big kill for Orc to find. The lane matchup, though, isn't too bad for OB.Neon. Asta can just stand back, play with the Mystic Snake. There is always the threat of Arrow Spear from a mile away, but you shouldn't be in that position as a Dusa. And Abeng's just doing his best to kind of cut off our Mars. I'm actually not sure if that's GY as well, Mike, because his name's a bit different. I don't recall. So I'm not sure. It could be a stand-in for Orca. We were not informed, so this should be GY, maybe just playing around with his, Dota profile a bit. And again, beyond that first blood, it should be stable for Asta, but he has been zoned out heavily, and missing out on any wave is always painful for Dusas. You do want that ramp up to deal with the jungle early on.
Absolutely. We'll get confirmation on who that Mars is in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Dougie on the case right now. Of course, over in the mid lane, you've got Avatar mode against Citrus, and well, we've talked about this lane already. Pretty rough affair here for Avatar mode, and we are going to wait and see how he plays this one out. But as you can see, as soon as he gets close to Citrus, he will just sap all the damage away here from this Kunkka. That's a little plus 27 for Citrus right now, and Avatar, he'll get in for a CS, but that's about all he can do. You can't get close once that the static link is available. Just not a lane you can play as the Kunkka.
No, you do have at least some counterplay with X that will force maybe a 1-1-1 build from Avatar mode, which doesn't feel great for Kunkka, as you do want the level 2 Tidebringer ASAP. So we will see for Avatar mode down the line. Citrus is having fantastic start, 10-7 up against Avatar mode's 5-1. And again, we saw his Kunkka wreck face last time, but this is a different matchup, a different team. And already, Citrus is just showing that maybe the experience is trumping here. Let's see if Avatar mode will recover. They do have good rotation potential later on.
Top lane of Bang being caught out here by an arrow of Yif. Still will go for the Nightmare onto the Mars. Yif going to go for a bit of a chase with the leap out, but a Bang doing a great job of just juking out within the tree line. Is going to make it away without dropping. So he will lose his courier, but it's much better than losing his own life.
Yep. It's a good stall out from Neon. They are getting the aggression away from Asta, opening up some space for the Deuce to farm, so I don't mind that at all. That's exactly what Bang needs to do. Leverage his durability, leverage the ability of him to trade, and just buy space for Dusa. We'll see if he does manage to get more. If is kind of checking the pulls. Take a look at that last lane that we haven't really talked about, Mike. Enryu on the Beastmaster, Jing on that Snapfire up against VT Faded on the PL, and Minyu Ping on that Shadow Demon. It is a bit of an aggressive lane for Neon if they want to run it that way. They can just cookie, say, a boar forward, try to get a kill, stack the Axis up, and get a Scatter Blast off, but pinning down VT Faded is a tougher issue. Even with just level 1 Doppelganger, he's going to be able to dodge most of those spells, and they're fairly telegraphed. VT Faded can take control here.
Yeah, but they can. Disruption gonna save Minyu Ping, and now Enryu just gonna die to the Shadow Poison stacks. Just plenty of damage out onto the Beastmaster. And Minyu Ping, he's been very good in this Pos 5 role, just being able to survive on that Shadow Demon, and will make his way over to the Water Runes or even perhaps the Bounty Runes. See where he heads. Obviously gonna try and deny himself off after, but he will be able to snag a bounty before he does go. Never mind, he won't see it. No, never mind, he does see it. There you go, Minyu Ping. Meanwhile, mid lane, Avatar mode missing the X Torrent and also not connecting with the cookie.
A bit unfortunate, not going to get the top up as well. See the deny out from Minyu Ping. And just as a heads up, Mike, we have gotten an update. That is not GY, that is Shenorita. Shenorita.
Shenorita.
Shenorita. So he is standing in for GY. He is on a Mars, and he's been doing pretty well. I mean, he's up there in CS. So it doesn't look to be affecting the side of Orca too badly. We'll see how he holds up down the line. But so far, a great laning start here for Orca. They just take control on their mid. They've been taking control on the top, making it a bit tough for Asta to free farm. And they've kind of enabled VT Faded. Not as much as the Dusa, but they have slowed down Enryu to an extent. Although he is still also building up some good farm. But you still feel good about the PL, because that cookie stun, the boar plays aren't coming true, and VT Faded should still be able to keep up the pace and still find that defusal time he wants.
Nice arrow there onto the Snapfire bot lane. Jing has no way out of this one. He is going to drop another kill to go the way of VT Faded, and you definitely don't want to give that gold over to the PL of all people, right? Like we talked about this. VT Faded needs a good start. He's currently getting a very good start as they're going to even chase down Enryu now. Citrus joining in. They're going to find that Beastmaster, and there might be a second kill on the way here for Team Orca as they've got the link up, and Enryu is just trapped between that tree line. No way to get out of this one. As Citrus will take the secondary kill, and it's right back into the mid lane for Orca.
Just back to farming, back to building up on that Razor. Really strong start for Citrus already. Getting these early rotations off, that's kind of what you want to see from Neon. They've got Kunkka, they've got the ability to rotate early, but they just haven't found the angles.
Oh, that's a great arrow. That is a great arrow from Yif. Avatar mode, he couldn't see it. It was within the fog the whole time. He'll throw out the boat, but he is going to get deleted here by Citrus. Doesn't even get a power rune for his trouble. John Citrus will take the DD.
Yep, and finds the bounty as well. Just great timings coming through from Orca, taking all the resources away from Neon, preventing the stack up on the jungle. You've got the Dusa, you want to be able to build up. They've been blocked. Even the top jungle, it's not very heavily stacked. A couple of double stacks here. Some decent farm for Asta, but not enough to compensate. I think that's the worry for Neon. Like, the aggression's just coming through from Orca. This is what you expect with their lineup. This is the way they play. They play really fast. They've got the 4 heroes to do that, to buy space for VT Faded, and he's already transitioned into that jungle might. He's in the jungle, level 6 up. He's got his illusion army ready to go, and the diffusal's not going to be too far off the mark. And once that's up, even with just those items, you can make work happen. You can just jump in, pressure Asta, prevent the Dusa from farming at all in this game.
Yeah. Speaking of Asta, though, he is farming quite well right now, on top of the CS board on that Dusa, so having a decent old time, but certainly he's going to experience some issues if you do have that early diffusal blade timing. So for now, he's having a decent time, that's for sure. Who isn't having a decent time is Avatar mode, and we'll see if he can find a way back into this game, right? Like with the Medusa, it tends to be all about just throwing that boat out, enabling the run buff and just making the Medusa even harder to take down. It looks like Avatar, he is just going to work on towards the BKB, so just doesn't really have anything else to play for right now. Needs the BKB to be able to survive through these team fights, and I think that is a fair way to play for Avatar. Until the BKB's up, he probably just can't play, as they are going to find another up at top lane. It'll be a Beng to go down on the Bane, and pretty easy setup there from what was his name again, John? Shen Orita?
Yeah, Shen Orita.
Alright, we'll call him Shen.
Yep.
Shen does set up a nice easy kill there for Yip. Meantime though, bot lane, Menu Ping has also been caught out and will also drop to Enryu.
And that's going to lead to the push timing here for Enryu. He's got the Dominator up, got the Troll creep up. A good steady push coming through here. Should match the pace of Orca up top. Maybe even a bit faster with a Beastmaster summon, so you will find some objectives for Neon. You will be able to buy some space out for the Dusa, but Asta's still stuck top. He's going to need some backup if he really wants to hold this lane by himself. No threat of Arena for half a minute, but it's not exactly the ideal spot for farming for Asta. He does want to work the jungle, but still waiting for the respawn, so nowhere else to go. The pushdown bot has been held back when your pings respawn short. Shadow Poison can't take care of the creep wave. They're not fully committing for that shove-in yet on Neon's end. I think they really want to have the Kisses up on Jing. Like, you get the Roar Kisses out, you will find your target every single time. The damage is fairly high, but Jing isn't quite at that point. Might be prioritized for that book. That should lead him to maybe look for that aggression coming through, Mike.
Jeez, when you say book, John, it makes me think of Necro book straight away. Which I gotta tell you, John, if IceFrog is watching and just wants to quickly add Necrobook back into the game by the with this new patch, wouldn't be a bad thing, IceFrog.
You know what you're asking for, Mike? If Necrobook came back, what you're asking for is Dazzle +1 back, because that's what happened while Necrobook was up. We'd get Dazzle mid, we'd get Dazzle off lane, we'd get Dazzle safe lane. We'd just see Necrobook spam and Midas spam. So is that what you want in your games, Mike?
Then nerf
is that what you want?
Nerf him. Add Necrobook.
He's already
nerf
dead.
Dazzle.
But he's already dead. You can't nerf a dead hero, Mike.
Yes,
you just
can,
said
John.
this, didn't you? No,
Yes,
no,
you
you just said it. You want everything to be broken. Are you sure? You be careful what you wish for there, Mike.
Bring back Necrobook. I don't care. Bring it back.
You sick man. Something's wrong with you, Mike. Is this your way of learning how to read? Picking up Necronomicon.
I enjoyed Necro, John. I pick Lycan, I rush Necro 3, I rush Towers. No, see, Helm of the Overlord's nice and all, John, but imagine you had that plus Necrobook. You see where I'm going? Like you could have,
sicko.
You could have a literal army. It'd be amazing.
Oh, you're so sick, Mike. You're just the sickest kind of person.
Well, you get upset because you play all those dumb supports that die to Necrobook, on its own. That's your problem.
Yeah, I play Warlock. What's up? I love my Warlock. I'm MVP when I play Warlock, okay? I get them golem kills. I use my chains very well, and I get Shadow Word on my core. And then if I'm alive, I upheaval. It's easy. It's fun. I get to say I did stuff.
Yeah,
while just really waiting for my cores to get killed.
I was gonna say it's easy for you, but not so much for your team playing 4v5 the whole game.
Buff Warlock. There you go. Good transition, Mike.
No,
Buff Warlock.
No, don't buff Warlock.
No. You said buff everything. Buff Warlock. Let's go. Let's go.
Asta's in the triangle right now, John, and this Medusa, currently farming and having a great time of it, John. A lot of stacks being taken here by this Dusa. slowly chipping
Pretty
away.
quick. No contestation coming out from Orca, so good catch of farm now, number 1 in net worth. And the side of Orca, maybe taking things a bit too slowly right now. VT Faded is very close to the defusal, but you have to watch that farming tempo, because PL cannot keep up with the Deuce. You can sort of, with your Phantom Rush, clear out camps fairly quick. You have vision out. It just doesn't match.
Citrus gonna make the rotation. Menu Ping already quite low. Citrus though gonna try and find a bit of a trade here onto Jing. In fact, Menu Ping does finally go down, but it took quite a while, so Jing is gonna be traded, and in fact Enryu might not make it out safely either. A double kill for Citrus as he just rushes his way back into the mid lane with this haste rune. I'll tell you, this mid Razor already so much impact in this game. Oh, he's got half the kills for the side of Orca right now on this Razor.
Citrus has just been setting up. He's willing to go forward. He knows how to play the tempo on the Razor. You don't want to sit back and farm. You want to look for those opportunities to find the pickoffs, to force some aggression out. He's going to have a quick BKB here as well, Mike. A lot quicker than Avatar modes. And I think once that Razor BKB's up, you have Roar, you have Grip, but do you really want to keep the Razor pinned down in comparison to, say, the PL? Can you really keep him pinned down when there's a disruption save from Minyo Ping? I think that's going to be pretty good for Citrus, although if he does pop the BKB, you can't quite disrupt him, so there is that opening there for Neon. We'll see, as they are still playing the stall game. You pointed out the farm coming out from Asta. It is still flowing through. Deuce is still not contested, not hunted down in the jungle. They do lose their top tier 1, but the shove-in from Neon should come in through bot with the dominated 3 points more. Still half HP on that tower, though. And there's that defusal up for VT Faded, so if he wants, he can help out in melting that Deuce and just making this game harder for Asta.
Yeah, I mean, Asta's been farming very well, so you might want to get to that point if you're Orca where you start hunting her down. But now, he's just been sitting in that die triangle, very, very safe on this Deuce. No stress whatsoever for Asta. Just Team Orca, of course, going to start moving into that mid-tier 1 tower to open up this jungle of the Dire side. Asta actually going to show up for this one, but we are going to have a quick pause out. It's around the same timing where Citrus does just pick up his BKB, so could be a very good time for Orca to try and force this, as it might be awkward for OB.Neon to try and fight back. And so Orca's actually had the disconnection here on VT Faded. OB.Neon, the ones complaining about FPS drops, but so VT Faded, he'll take the second to reconnect as well. Why the hell not?
Oh, you know what I'm curious about, Mike? Will we get a performance increase or decrease in the patch?
Oh, I think
I forgot that.
I would really appreciate, I would really appreciate after this patch, we just need a spring cleaning patch, you know? Just clean everything up. Just clean it up a little bit. You know, John?
Yeah.
Don't you? Just a spring cleaning patch. I miss those patches.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel a bit weird. Because, you know, my PC is pretty nice. I can't hit 144 hertz on Dota.
How embarrassing.
I actually can't. I mean, I'm on a 1440p monitor, right?
No
so
need to show off JohnXFire.
Oh, but it's so weird. It's like this PC shouldn't be struggling with Dota, but it does, and I don't understand why. Maybe it's on me.
Just get good, John. Fiends rip out onto the Shadow Demon. Menu Ping gonna get caught and does get bursted down. Mid-tier 1 tower is still standing, but Team Orca without Menu Ping won't go much further. OB.Neon, they're going to back off again, happy with the fact that the tier 1 mid tower is still standing. I think Orca, they'll have to keep trying. They've still got some great timings here on BT Faded and Citrus. So once you've got all 5 up, I think you just go again. I think they'll go right now.
It's tough. You used Grip, you used Stone Gaze. You still have Roar and Boat. But there is a blink here on Shen if he does find the angle.
There's your boat out. BT Faded. He does take it to the backside, but it won't matter because they're going to move back in onto a bang. Though no, BT, he stuck around too long and goes down to the Mortimer's Kisses. So now Team Orca definitely need to retreat. As OB.Neon, they're going to try and chase for a little bit here. Might just find Yif on that Mirana, and they will. No messing around though. Even Roar up. And Jing gets a double kill in the Snapfire. More importantly, though, he found the kill onto VT.
And that's massive. Just a bit of an overextension there from VT Faded. Good punishment coming through from the side of Neon. And that still holds Orca back from taking that mid-tier 1. We're just seeing really good uses of the ults out from Neon. you got to respect the damage output of Snapfire with kisses. It's just a lot. And VT Fade is not that tanky. He only has Diffusal up with power trades. He needs more stats. He needs the Man style up. He's going to need a Scotty or Hort down the line as well. And again, if you do want to play that farming game, the Dusa is winning out. Like, there's just no way to stop Asta at the moment. He's just been free to farm in the triangle, free to farm in the bot jungle. And no one from Orca has been hunting down the Dusa. So Neon, despite taking some early losses, are still getting the economic win in the end. But it's still a very tight game. Smoke out from Neon here, though.
Disruption setup. Shen gonna move his way in, and they've got the Bane, so a Bang will drop very quickly. The OB.Neon, the thing is, they're not concerned. As long as they've got this Medusa farming, they're more than happy to keep this game just going as a very nice cookies up onto the dominated Centaur of Enryu, and they'll be able to get a trade. Asta will give the tip over to Jing, and rightfully so. But mid lane, who have they got? Oh, it's going to be Avatar mode. That'll be a much bigger pick-off now for Team Orca. And they might be able to try again for that mid-tier 1 tower now.
Yeah, they drag Asta in for the defense. That might be enough to shove the side of Orca away, but they've got the Arena Blink ready. Just kind of need to find the angle. Not going to overcommit. Neon have grouped the supports up. They still have grip here, Mike. They still have the kisses. Could be a toughie in terms of committing too hard, as we've seen Orca done before. They'll play it safe. But again, this pacing just favors Neon, because Asta is free to farm. He's not contested. There is a 2k lead up for Orca. So for Neon, this progress is sacrificing course, and BT faded.
Yeah, Mortimer's Kisses is there. BT faded, again caught out. A very nice Fiend's Grip out from a Bang to catch that PL, and now Citrus gonna try and punish a Bang, but he's already gotten exactly what he could have asked for. Or even Citrus forced to pop the BKB just to ensure he could get that kill. It's just not good news for Orca. It really isn't, because BT, he just keeps dying like this. And eventually this Medusa is just going to be way too big to deal with, even for the PL.
It's starting to get to that point. He is behind by about 2k gold here. Not the best position for PL, and that is going to go wider, just because Medusa farms a lot faster. The push aggression is coming out from Neon as well. They've got the full Helm the Overlord up on Enryu, and it doesn't take too long at that point to take a tower. They will get the deny, but they still find the objective on Neon, and now they can invade that triangle.
They are. BT faded. Gotta be careful to get caught up by a roar from Enryu, but he will back off after seeing those dominated creeps. On with the Overlord timing, though. Very scary now from the Beastmaster. Shen may have actually spotted out Enryu, but I don't think he can actually hope to get the kill. We'll just be forced to leave it.
Dire are scanning.
And again, OB.Neon, as long as you have Asta farming, he has no concern in the world. You give this guy another 10 minutes, he's going to have that butterfly up, and that's around the time where you just group up. I mean, sure, you might wait for the dataless timing as well on Asta, but with a butterfly on this Medusa, it's like VT Fade is just going to have no options left. So Bang does break the smoke and get caught out here on the Bane, but that's perfectly fine. He'll just tank the gank for the rest of the team. Nothing else will really come out of this. In fact, all BT. Oh, he's been X-Fac. Still, Arena is down. Shen going to try and save the day. May have just done so as the boat is going to fly in, but it's a bit too late. So VT, he barely survives through that. Had they actually just had him alone, he would have guaranteed just been dead.
Side of Orca at the right spot at the right time, kind of looking for their opportunity to shove that opposite mid. Should be able to find it now. The Fortify will stall, but they know boat is down. Still Grip, Roar are available from Neon, but they're not going to bother anymore. They've gotten the value out. They've gotten the space needed to get Asta up and running. And for Orca, again, it is of a bit of a bad position having Asta so far forward, but Orca aren't behind. They're ahead in net worth. Their cores are finding more farms. Citrus and Shen are working the map a lot better than the other cores of Neon, as they've just been sacrificed. Enryu, Avatar mode, taking the back seat for that.
Have I disconnected, John?
I have disconnected too.
Oh, we've all disconnected. Oh, that's fantastic. Uh-oh. Here we go. Yeah,
I
here
can't,
we go.
No, I'm not reconnecting. It's not reconnecting, Mike. Oh, there it is.
Oh, boy. Don't scare us like that, John.
There we are. Everyone disconnected. Beautiful. The patch isn't even here.
I'm sure the new patch will fix all these issues, John. Don't you worry. I know
Oh, I
Valve's
can't
out there.
wait for the NA crowd. I can't wait for the NA crew, Mike. They're gonna have a really good time.
Yeah, shout out to the North Americans. If any American people are watching right now, BTS Pro Series NA is going to be on later on tonight, and boy oh boy, right after the patch as well, John. I mean, you and I, we know the feeling because when you're in Southeast Asia, they always like to make those small updates with bug fixes, but they always end up breaking something else with those fixes. That time NA got a bit of that feeling, I reckon. Even though they get the prime time to, play the new patch while we'll be sleeping.
Yeah. There we go. Thank goodness it's not everyone's ISP crapping the bed, as we will get back to it. Ah, dang.
Nightmare out. Should be a nice easy kill here onto menu ping. Shall be menu ping. Gonna drop here for the side of Orca. Looks like VT Faded still trying to get towards that Mantis style timing. Oh, Citrus. BKB. He does have a TP, but the Fiend Drip is going to be there from a bang, and that's going to be a great pick off here onto that Razor. A lot of gold to go the way of Enryu now on that Beastmaster as OB.Neon will just continue trying to find Yif on the Mirana, but he's going to be able to break the distance here and just get the hell out. So it seems like OB.Neon is certainly feeling a lot more comfortable to take these fights now, and you can't quite blame them. Zasta, he will just continue with the voice lines.
Yep, and I've disconnected, which is very nice. But
I haven't.
Yeah, that's good. That's good news. At the least now I can blame my ISP. I'm back in. All right, so for Orca, all right, we've got.
What is it, John?
4 disconnects. Beautiful. It's not just me. Thank you. Not just me.
Always good when
I've been chosen by Val.
It's always good when it's this late at night and we've got these disconnection issues. There's nothing that makes me happier, let me tell you, John. Nothing that makes me happier.
You know why? Isn't patch time like 2 a.m. Singapore time? So we are at 10 o'clock Singapore time.
Well, we're getting close, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you're feeling it too. Maybe this is the primal beast roaring the servers, Mike. Maybe it is.
Perhaps, John. I guess we'll go with that. We have the go ahead. We're gonna give it a crack and see if it does work out.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
You might get your wish, John. We might be able to drag these games out long enough that we'll be in the patch.
Marcy is coming to see him. Everyone's looking forward to that one.
Yeah, very fun.
Can't wait to see how well that goes, especially if she gets buffed, Mike, because they're asking for buffs. So let's get them buffs in. We'll see. Orca, I was just saying their cores were really well farmed, but you lost Citrus, and that goes out the window. Still have the 2k lead, but Neon are starting to claw their way back on their other cores. And Asta is still set for that really quick butterfly, 20 minutes in. Should be able to find it after a couple of waves. And that's a massive issue. PL does not like building MKB. They're going to have to find a way to get maybe a Bloodsworn on just to get some pierce through. And we'll see if he will maybe be forced to go for that MKB. It's, again, not ideal for Phantom Lancer, as Neon find themselves in a good position. They take a tier 2 bot for free, no contestion. And the side of Orca, they're still kind of forced to play the stall game, but their lineup is not geared for that long haul. And Razor still has presence, but you don't want to run it up against a Dusa, up against a Kunkka who can itemize to be disruptive with, say, the Ags. It gets painful in the late game.
Mid lane avatar mode, playing around with that X, being able to escape the grasp of Orca. Butterfly up on Asta is going to make things very hard now for Team Orca. See how they try to fight into this, as we are going to have another pause. There is lag, but I mean, I'm experiencing the lag as well, but it's one of those things where it's like, at this point, I think you just need to play it. As bad as that sounds, I think that's the only option, because what are you going to do? It's nobody's internet. Jing. Does pause time count on these moments as well? Like, do you count pause time? Because it's nobody's fault.
No. We'd have to wait for the best admin Doogie to step in and let us know. But it seems like it doesn't, as he hasn't made any timing call out. So
Knowing
be
our
fine.
number one admin Dougie, he's probably on the phone to Valve right now, demanding better service for SCA.
I can imagine him with his voice just trying to yell. That'd be so. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that conversation from our number one admin. But as you said, Mike, knowing him, he's on the case,
I mean,
fixing it up.
I could imagine Dougie yelling. He's got such a calm manner, calm voice, doesn't he? He's just sounds like he can get very angry. Definitely not yelling though. Just
I think I've heard him kind of mauled. It's like a maulding war with him and maybe Nino at some point.
Oh.
But Dougie mauled is very calm, whereas Nino mauled is, off the wall. That's why he's number 2, Mike.
Who said it was number 2? Hold on a minute. We haven't gone to that stage yet. We've only decided number 1 so far. Smoke
You're right. Zek is number 2.
Team Orca. Gonna move in, a bang, may get caught out and does, but no, a nice nightmare dodge on the Spirit. Now the cookie out. He's jumped over the walls. As the brain sap is there, he does survive a little bit longer than intended. They still get the kill in the end, however. Asta still trying to go on this Deucer with the Purge out, but that's gonna be it. Not really committing all the way. The arrow does land on the Kunkka, but they aren't gonna make the play. I don't think they can handle the Deucer yet. They've really got to figure out how they're going to deal with this, how they're going to deal with Asta, as you can really feel that lag going. I don't know if it's just me lagging. I'm pretty sure everyone else is lagging along with it, so nobody make any PC jokes, alright? It's not my PC this time. It is the servers this time, ladies and gentlemen. I can't help it.
Yeah. Yep. It's not Mike's fault. Don't blame the guy. Although he is very easy to blame, isn't he? Yes, the Roche does begin here from Neon. We'll get started. They have the Overlord, but they pick up the Dark Troll instead. I'm just wanting more summons to play with here. Not going to take them too long, even without Asta, and Asta will show up to pick it up. The side of Orca are very well aware with Minion Ping spamming Shadow Poison, so they might have an angle to jump in here.
They're going to try. Disruption is out onto the Deucer with the boat to fly in from Avatar mode, but we've got Shen in. He has not got the Aegis though. It has been taken by Asta, and now they look to just man-fight this one out. As Shen, he tried to TP away, but it was never going to work. BT, this is not the time to farm, sir. Have they X up the right one? I think they had, but BT is going to be able to doppel away and get himself out. So Mars going down, Aegis to go the way of OB.Neon. Now you've got to kill Asta twice, and it's already kind of hard to kill him once, so go figure, John. I don't know how they're going to get through this one.
Yep, and they're on the hunt still. Citrus.
Oh, BKB is there, but the Roar was out into the Fiend's Grip. Now they just lock him down, and eventually they'll get through him, no issue. As Asta, that whole time, was just pushing in that mid T2 tower. He just didn't even flinch.
Yep. Just nothing to stop him. Like, VT faded. So much EHP to work through with the evasion. Still working towards the Scott. He's still a ways off. They do have the angle on the high ground here.
Well, that was a bit of an interesting arrow flying out there from Yif. Not going to connect on much.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Could say,
T2.
Mike.
Yeah.
That Yif kind of whiffed.
Middle tower
Oh, that's terrible, John. That's just terrible.
They get the tier 2, and Neon get to keep up the pace. They've got the net worth lead now. It's been in Orca's favor for a while, but again, that's up against Adusa. It's not a big lead at all. And now this is the point where Neon can start scaling. Avatar mode working towards that silver edge. Gonna have a lot more damage coming through once that's up. And they've already got the blink up and Enryu, so they can gap close, get the big roars they need. The BKBs just aren't saving them anymore on Orca. I think it might be time to actually save your BKB after a disruption save if Minyo pings around. Because you can't get the disruption save if the BKB's up. You might as well just act as bait, force the spells, and disrupt save and turn around.
X. No, they're not going to find the real Avatar. Bit off with the God's Rebuke. You see BT Faded still trying to get that Eye of Skadi going on the PL.
Is under attack.
They do pop the Moonlight Shadow, but I'm not sure really for what. They'll get the outpost, I guess, but that's about it. Maybe just a reposition. They aren't feeling too good here against OB.Neon. What's Asta farming now? Well, of course, he's going for that Eye of Skadi. They might just move in again. Yeah, but 4-man smoke. Avatar mode. Be on the front. Got his own Silver Edge now up, and that's just so much damage on the Kunkka. Doesn't seem like Team Orca are very interested in trying to take this fight, but they may have no chance, or rather no option in the, no option in all this, as they do get the Nightmare off on the Razor. Jing, Scanner Blast is there. Citrus immediately roared up on that Razor, and looks like he is set to fall as Asta will just follow up with the Stone Gaze. And even the Mortimer's Kisses does to make sure that Citrus does eventually go down. It's going to be Neon onto that top T1 tower now.
And you're having big problems now for Orca. We talked about the potential of the Razor being on top of the Medusa. It's not coming out at all. We're a long ways off until you reach that point in the Razor. Going for the Shivas first. Refresh, still sort of a pipe dream. And Blink on top of that, still a long way as well. You are getting some good farm out on BT Faded. He has managed to close the gap a bit. Still only about 3k behind. Not unplayable, but Shen.
Had to pop that BKB to get himself out. So the T2 top tower not going to be feeling very safe right now, as Asta will just get right to work, and it's just classic Medusa gameplay. You're at a point where you just can't be contested.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And that'll be the final outer tower here for Orca, so it's high ground from here. There is only 35 seconds left on this Aegis timing though, so OB.Neon, they probably play it safe and just wait for the next Roshan. No need for them to rush. They have map control, so plenty of time to farm up here for Asta and just finish off those next 2 items. And I suppose it does give Orca a chance to do the exact same on this PO, but oh boy, BT Faded. Gets caught in the Nightmare, and they have Fiend's Grip up. They will commit straight away, and that might just be another kill onto the PL. Oh, BT, he has not had a good PL game. 1, 3, and 6 thus far.
It's been rough. His laning was pretty alright, but after that, like, he's been caught out multiple times. It's a hard game, and oh, Citrus.
Yeah, great initiation in from Endryu. I mean, Shen's trying to help out, and with the BKB static link, maybe they can try to turn this back in onto the Beastmaster, but they can certainly not deal with this Medusa. Shen, well, Mortimer's Kiss is now flying in from the side, gonna force the BKB out of the Mars. And there's Avatar mode with a big Tidebringer hit. It's more than enough to get a double kill on the Kunkka. And they might just go high ground now. Force some buybacks for themselves. In fact, they're not even done yet. They found Yif. Nightmare will hold him down. Disruption there might have actually screwed them up. No, he's still asleep. And the Tidebringer will do the job.
Oh boy. Almost looked bad, but they find a freebie, and now the high ground early. Fortify Forest out, away from the creep wave. Next creep wave coming in through mid is going to be protected without the Fortify to clear it out. And Neon have a really good angle. There's no arena to protect. There's no big team fight you can expect out from Orca, as they will take the tower and play it safe. So just head back, reset, you know, get topped up, wait for next rush. Minute 40 until we see that, Mike, and Neon are in a very strong position to win now. They've got control of the triangle, they're cutting off farm, not much room left for a PL and a Razor to get their build up. And for Orca, all those plans of just static linking Medusa, it's not coming true, because Asta's just playing very safe in the back, joining his team after the roar, after the grip, after the boat's all thrown out, and Citrus is forced to use the static link on someone else. And it just kind of removes the power of that Razor, because you want him to get stronger while a big hero gets weaker. It's not coming out. And Neon, again, they just solidify their position, and with the next creep wave, they might actually just look to force the issue. But we'll see.
And they go. Just that they are just gonna deal with the creep wave, and that's about it. It is still quite a decent high ground defense available here from Orca. With those shards up on the PO, it can get quite annoying to try and deal with BT Faded. At least on the high ground. It's still a while away for the Roche, so it's back to the triangle. And this is one of the big changes I'm looking forward to, John. It's just this, this very, scripted kind of gameplay, right? Like, you wait for Roshan, go back for the Roshan, just hold triangle. This is why I think a second Roche might actually be a good idea. It may be a good idea.
I don't want to risk it. Maybe it is. Maybe we'll see. Because again, I just don't like the notion of getting closer to a certain game. Like, Shen is not safe here.
Hold on, they're getting close to us, John. Right? They copied our game. Let's make that very clear. As Mars is going to get caught out by this Fiend's Grip. So I don't like the way you've been saying that, John. As if they came up with this MOBA concept.
No, they definitely took it from us. But I don't want to go full circle and get some inspirations from them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let us be our own game. We've got our own team going here. Keep it that way. You know what change could break that cycle, Mike? The triangle into a square. That might be it. There you go. Or a triangle into a circle. And instead of a big triangle set of camps, it's a circle. Why not? That's a change, Mike. Breaks the cycle.
I will delete Dota if that turns into a circle, I'll tell you right now. Avatar mode. Are they going to go high ground? Still Roshan only 7 seconds away, but they don't know that. There is a Hawk to scout out though, so they will find out rather soon that Roshan is going to be up, and I think OB.Neon, they won't risk it. But there's just no need to. You've got an Aegis that you can just go claim for yourself. You may as well just go take it. Looks like OB.Neon will make their way over right now. And Team Orca, I mean, they're the ones that need to try and do something about this. And I think they might go for a 5-man smoke up to try and fight through this Roshan pit. Because if you allow OB.Neon to take it for free, chances are you won't be able to defend. So you've got no real option here for Team Orca. Roshan is halfway through though, and we are going to have a bit of an awkward pause as more lag complaints are coming through.
Yep. I disconnected.
Excellent.
So, it's great, of course.
That's what you get for your stupid idea of making the triangle to a circle.
But you never know, Mike. Maybe Ice Frog thinks in a strange way as well. I can't actually... Okay, there we go. I actually failed to reconnect. We're fine. We're fine. But yes. Triangle into square. Let's make it happen.
No. Let's not.
Yes.
No, let's not, John.
Let's see. These kinds of disconnects are so badly timed too, because Roche is happening, so this might throw off Neon. Every single moment your concentration is broken is an opening for the other side. And they're still under smoke here on Orca. They've still got Blink Arena. We saw Shen try to make a big play last time. Let's see if he does manage to find that angle this time.
We shall see. The go-aheads are there. Both teams ready to go. Except nobody's unpausing. Alright, everyone can say G, but someone's going to press F9. There we go. Arrow. Scatter a little bit. Shadow Poisons are there. Shen, he's right in. He's found a Bang on the Bane. That's a great target to start on, but a Bang, he is still alive with a Nightmare dodging out so much damage, but eventually should die. In the meantime, though, they do lose menu ping on the side of Orca, and it's complete chaos around Roshan, but Asta is still just trying to work onto the Roche. In fact, never mind. He wants Citrus on the Razor, and he's got plenty of slow to deal with him. The Mortimer's Kisses do come flying in eventually. BT Fader, though, still trying to fight with the Doppelganger, unable to find the Conquer kill. He does drain the Mana of Asta, but it doesn't seem like he's got the follow-up damage to deal with him.
And that should be Roshan going their way. They are stalling out for the arrows. Really great force staff play out from OB.Bank to save Avatar mode. And Roche number 2 should... Oh,
Shen's in again with the Scatter Blast stun is there into the cookie, and that's going to be another Mars kill here. Shen will try another time, but Jing will give him the tip. And even a Fiend's Grip. Oh, they've caught VT Faded. Of all people, it always seems to be VT Faded.
Yep. It's because you've got the Bane Dream, like Aether Lens and the Psychic Headband for OB.Bang. So no Ogre to prove a point against, holding on to a Philostone. Does have the cast range of a mile. And we just get the pin down. This could force the buybacks coming through. Even with buybacks up, it just doesn't feel like VT Faded set to fight against Asta's 2 lives. That should be at least a set of racks I can see Neon kind of committing for more though.
You can go for more. There's just no reason to back off right now. Asta, he wants megas. Going all the way. In fact, I can accept the Beastmaster. So we're going for the Wild Axes again.
Oh.
I guess you are up against PL, John. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Top lane. Citrus. Not going to have a way to cancel through the BKB, so Avatar mode will be fine. Asta, meanwhile, still not flinching, but no, he will eventually back off. He is very low on mana, but a nice roar out onto the Mars, and they will just get right to work onto Shen, who tries to BKB and fight back along with BT Beta, but they've still got the Beastmaster alive. Enryu finally dying, as Asta now is just trying to man-fight BT Beta. They are going one-on-one at the moment, but keep in mind, Asta, he has the Aegis, and he's not dying anyway. They are still going. They just can't deal with him. He finally goes down, but they've got BT faded.
No buyback. He just bought back.
Oh boy, no buyback. That should be it. They are still going to try and defend. Asta very happy with himself, but still has that mana shield going. They thought they may have caught him out without it. Not quite. As Asta, still full mana, will happily turn around and keep fighting against this Mars. And just look at this, John. Doesn't this look balanced to you? What a hero Medusa is.
Oh yeah. You're acting like this is the most broken form of Deuce's wallets. They get the spear.
They do. Can they take him out though? Maybe they can. Asta, he's dropping quite low this time around. And they do get him. But mega creeps are up, and if you're OB.Neon, that's all you wanted anyway. You won't mind Asta going down for another minute and a half.
You're a trusty mate.
You've got everything you could ask for. There's no way for Orca to just immediately siege onto the tier 2s. No Roche for Orca to play for as well. So all they can do is try to stall the game out, maybe find some openings. And back to my point, Mike. You're acting like this is the most broken Deuce has been. Remember the time when mid-Deusa was a thing with safe lane Drow and Avenge support? That was very balanced. That was a balanced Deusa. That was just pure balance, because you had a mile range because of Avenge Aura at that time. You had added damage from the Drow. What could you ask for on a Deusa? Well, really, what more could you ask for a Deusa at that point? An Ogre Magi, I guess. You know, for Bloodlust. That's it.
That'd be nice. So, I mean, OB.Neon, they certainly don't need any of that right now, John. I mean, they're 23k ahead with Mega Creeps up. Yif. Try and leap away. Nice scan out there. Actually going to find Shen here in the tree line. His Avatar mode's going to be very patient with this initiation. The blink away is there, but the chase is still going. In fact, no, they found Yif instead. A bang. He'll set up with the Nightmare into the Fiend's Grip. And notice how a bang, John, he does have the Aether Lens and the Psychic Headband. The Shen going to try and force a fight here against the Snapfire and the Bane. They might have enough. A bang is going to go down to Citrus, and Jing will eventually die to Shen. Meanwhile, though, Avatar mode's going to show up and look to man-fight Citrus and towards the south. There's also another fight breaking out between Enryu and BT Faded. But Avatar, he is just taking him on 2-on-1 right now. BT Faded at least gets Enryu, but Avatar mode going to find some very nice trades for himself, it seems. Shen's going to try and run away from Avatar, and he might just make it. Someone needs to address these mega creeps, however, John. His tier 4s are currently going down.
Oh yeah, and they've even got the Deuce illusions to help keep that shoved in. Orca, no buyback on Citrus. Still no buyback running here on VT Faded, 4 minutes away. Big openings for Neon. They find some good kills, but they can't make anything happen from it. And you still have to deal with Asta, who's still been all chatting the entire game. Feeling great. Great debut so far from our Pause 1 that we have no clue about. I actually have zero clue, because I've seen Jing. I haven't seen Asta. And he's been doing well. Same kind of surprise as we saw from Avatar mode yesterday. He had the burden of being the actual core, while Chuan was more of a playmaker. He delivered a good, so this Neon lineup is looking promising, but it's not over yet. Orca at a big disadvantage. If they do manage to stall, if they get this heart up in VT Faded, it could start turning. That could be maybe a start of a return, because the prolonged fights, the PL can just slowly chip away at the Deusa. And that could be a problem down the line there for Asta, as mostly fully slotted up, can maybe toss away the Dragon Lance at this point. There's not much room to grow unless you get an Ag's Blessing, Ag's Consumption out for Asta. Roshan, still 2 minutes away here, Mike. We'll see if it's going to be a refresh or Ag's upgrade for free from that third Rosh. Neon still has control. Orca just confined to their ramp area, basically. They can't even go into the jungle here as smoke out from Neon. And they find something juicy while they're trying to farm up here.
Well, they may. OB.Neon making their way up. BT faded. Oh, the Fiend's grip is immediate from a bang. He knows every single time which the real PO is, but BT faded is still going to survive, at least for now, but not for long, because they've stunned him up. Oh, and Citrus, all he can do is try to fight on his own, along with Shen, but it's not going to be a great fight for him, because they are just trapped up in their own arena. They're going to GG it. They can't come back from this game, number one. And a Bang just so on target with this Bane. Just always finding this PL, no matter how many illusions are around him.
They just had a great game on Ian. They execute really well. It felt like they were counterpicked, like the Razor last pick, the PL to kind of work against Medusa. Wasn't enough. You got a lot of room out from Asta. He was just farming up like crazy. And it just snowballed from there. I think Neon... they're showing us that this revitalized Neon with basically 3 unknown players or unknown to the region can put up a really good fight. And Orca, they can't underestimate that. We'll have to see if they clean up their act for game number 2. But if Neon just execute the same way, up against counter picks directly from Orca, I think they should have a pretty good time if they just play well again.
Absolutely. Well, we'll get to a 10-minute break, John, and right after that break, we'll be back with our final game of the night between Orca and OB.Neon.